All the advantage planes, you'll go from highest pilot skill to lowest pilot skill, so from the 5s all the way down to the 2. Now, if you both have the same pilot skill, what you then go to is the speed on your aircraft card. I'll throw you guys a F-105G card just to watch, go along with. You see we have a series of numbers. The bottom one is your speed. So the higher speed aircraft will go first. So like an F-100 would go before a MiG-17, go before an F-105. If there's a tiebreaker, so like you're both pilot skill 3, we're both speed 14 between the MiG and the Thunder Chief, there's a very fine printed number in miles per hour underneath it. And what does the MiG-17 say on that one, if you can read it? Yeah, you are barely getting right at the edge of supersonic. You're a subsonic airplane. The F-105 has 1372. So he's going to be considered higher initiative and go before you, simply because he has more thrust, more speed. So you'll go in that order: your advantage state, your pilot skill, aircraft speed. What do you do when you activate? Okay, so first thing you can always do is you can always shoot. If somebody is out there in front of you, you can always shoot at them. What we're going to talk about in this game is there are aircraft, obviously for the People's Vietnamese Air Force, you only have guns on your aircraft for whoever wants to end up playing them. You won't have missiles. If you are the U.S., your F-100s will have missiles. And we'll talk about how that works here in a little bit when we talk about the details of shooting. But the thing to remember is the turn always starts with shooting. So you can always take an opportunity to punch somebody in the face quickly in the game. Then what you can do is you can decide to give up some of your advantage to do some cool things. So you see where it says burn advantage. You can burn advantage to do two different things here. You can burn advantage to maneuver. So let's talk about why you would do that. What does a normal move look like? So moving is your speed. So like for the Thud here, I can move anywhere between half to that full number. So anywhere between 7 and 14. So half rounded up. My bases, I needed to weight them. So let's say I just want to make a small minimum move. I just want to move him 7. You would move 7 inches, and you can move beyond that an incremental amount. You don't have to move just to 8. You can move 7 1/4. But move 7. And then you can turn up to 45 degrees at the end of every move. And that's a standard move. So in this case, between 7 and 14 inches, turn 45. If you want to do something different, you could burn advantage, and I would go from advantage to neutral. And now I can make a 180-degree turn anywhere in my move. I could do it right at the start and move between 7 and 14 inches this way. I could move out 9 inches, let's say, and I could turn 180 degrees. Or I could maybe move 3 inches, turn 90 degrees, move another 5. So burning, you give up a little bit of your advantage to be able to do something cool with your maneuver. Or, especially if you find yourself needing to get off the board, out of the way very quickly, you can dive. So a dive is a little bit different. When you burn advantage to dive, you would go from advantaged to neutral, or neutral to disadvantage, whichever one. Let's say you're neutral, so you're trying to get out of there. Go to disadvantage to dive. You add 6 to your move. So I could do, let's see here, 9, do another 5. So there's 14, and I get another 6 on top of that. So it's a great way to get across the board very quickly, but you're giving up advantage. So if you think about it, if you're already at neutral and you go all the way to disadvantage, now you're an easy target for people. It's easy to get shot down. If you're advantaged, you've given up your ability to shoot and to maneuver against some people. All right. So those are the things you can burn advantage to do, and that's your standard move. And what you'll see is from when you move onto the board as jets, it's actually very easy to quickly get across the board, but you will give up a lot of advantage to do that. And so when you do that, you now make yourself a vulnerable target for any aircraft fire, for any of the bandits that are out there. So a lot of people are like, yeah, but jets can get across the board very quickly. I'm like, yes, and they die very quickly when they get over there as well. So be cautious about moving too quickly into the target area. Okay. So any questions on just basic generic movement or on burning advantage? And we'll go over it as we walk through this. I will walk all of you through what we're doing. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay, so I will split up and I'll probably end up taking, I don't know, we'll see who, does anyone want to play the North Vietnamese? Or, okay, all right. Whoever wants to play North Vietnamese, we basically have 2 flights, and then we have as many flights of Americans as we need to fit in there. So, all right. We'll come back to who's playing who here in a second. All right, so no questions on movement. All right, at the end of your movement, once you're done with your movement, you've made your turn, whatever you want to do, you can now do a pilot action. And you can do any one of the following things. You can either shoot, once again, just like you would have at the beginning of the turn. You can outmaneuver, and I'll talk about how that works in a second, or you can climb to regain advantage. Now, in Blood Red Skies, it's referred to as climbing for advantage. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are gaining altitude, you are just gaining back your energy. So, at this point, if he chose to climb for advantage, he would just go ahead and move up there. So maybe he was, remember, disadvantaged because he had dove across the board and made his turn. At that point, he could climb, regain advantage, and now be neutral. So he would give up any of the other pilot actions he could do to shoot, to drop bombs, to do whatever, to gain back that energy and be a little bit more survivable. Okay. What everyone really wants to know how to do is how to shoot. So we'll cover that before we cover outmaneuvering. No, we're not. I'm going to keep pushing off shooting. Outmaneuvering, how does that work? All right, well, outmaneuvering, remember this is a super generalized game. As long as you are within 9 inches, you can opt to outmaneuver another aircraft. And so let's say I'm a disadvantaged ace out there. This F-105 is trying to merge on top of me there. I can, at the end of my move, say, okay, I'm not going to climb for advantage. I could come back to neutral, but I'm not going to. I'm going to opt to outmaneuver him. He's within 9 inches, and then I compare my pilot skill. If my pilot skill is higher, I automatically cause him to lose a level of advantage. No questions asked. I'm a better pilot than they are. They're going to lose a level of advantage. So I could outmaneuver him and do that. So you can't fly him into the ground. And the worst they can get is they can get to disadvantage. And at that point, you can't outmaneuver a disadvantaged enemy any further. I've always said I wish there was an optional rule that I'm going to outmaneuver you and you have to see if you don't crash. But sadly, nobody liked that rule. But if the reverse was done, if instead of automatically outmaneuvering, if I have a lower pilot skill, like let's say I am the F-105 who's worried about this MiG rendezvousing and shooting on me, I'm within 9 inches, well, I'm going to then compare my pilot skill to his. I'm worse, so he has a chance to resist it. So this is how you make either a maneuver check or a pilot skill check. You'll basically take the dice, so you take 5 dice, push all those to the side. 5 dice for your pilot skill. Then you see that middle number on your card? That's the aircraft's agility. When you're doing pilot things, that's the number that you add in there. So I would get another die. So I get 6 dice total. Oh, sorry, it's a two more for him. I was looking at my F-105. So 2 for the agility on a MiG-17. So I'd roll 7 dice looking for a 6. Well, thankfully I got one of them. So on these dice, the ace of spades is a 6. So that's all, whenever you make a check or anything, all you're ever going to look for is a 6. 1 through 5, all the kill markers don't do you any good. Only a 6 is what gets you anything. So in this case, I got a 6, I got a success. I resisted outmaneuvering. If I had failed and not had any of those, I would lose a level of advantage. Okay, I realize that's fast and furious. Let's talk about stuff that's the cool stuff, shooting people. All right. You can only shoot aircraft that are at a lower advantage than you. So if you are an advantage guy, you can shoot neutral or disadvantaged guys. If you're neutral, you only shoot disadvantaged guys. And if you're the disadvantaged guy, you don't shoot anybody. So don't be disadvantaged. When you choose to shoot somebody, and let's start with just a shot in the rear arc. So you're in his rear arc, they're in your front arc. You will take your pilot skill, in this case 5. Then you'll see a large orange number at the top of the card, and that will be the firepower. And I believe it's 2 for the MiG-17 over there. So he would have 7 dice. The same thing, you're just looking for a 6. Looking for a single success. Okay, I got 2 successes. We'll talk about what that is later. But I got at least 1 success. So then you take the boom chit, and you basically apply that to your enemy's card. What is a boom chit? It's a lot of stuff rolled into one. It's morale. It's damage to the airplane. It's running out of ammo. It's running out of fuel. What it simulates is that as the combat engagement goes on and shot opportunities happen, it weighs up on the level of morale of a squadron. At some point, people are going to disengage. They're going to be, this is too difficult of a target to get through. The bandits are too heavy. You may or may not shoot people down before you force them to engage, force them to disengage. So it's a really interesting morale mechanic that, and we'll talk about here with shoot down, that when aircraft get shot down or bad things happen, it also piles on top of that mechanic. So you might never make it to the target because you get what we call boomed out. Enough damage is done, enough aircraft are shot down that squadron, that element says, no, we're not going to go to the target, and they pitch out. All right. And if you always, people always also complain, they're like, but I want to shoot more airplanes down. I'm like, well, then don't use the boom chip mechanic in that sense. Just keep playing until all the aircraft are shot down. It's your game. You can do with it what you want. All right. So we talked about shooting here. So he hit, you give that boom chip to the squadron, and then they have to defend. So they take their pilot skill plus their agility of 1 die, and they're rolling, just looking for a 6 again. He didn't get any successes. So not only did they take a boom chip, but then he'd lose a level of advantage and now be disadvantaged. If he had started disadvantaged and failed to dodge, then he's shot down and comes off the board. And another boom chip, a second boom chip would go on the squadron. So you can see how it kind of snowballs very rapidly when aircraft get shot at and shot down. That can very rapidly make it so the squadron, basically the squadron finishes their turn and then they leave the board. Now, what I will say is, as you do the Vietnam games, there are some optional rules we have in there for, where elements can leave separately, so that before you get boomed out, you can use an optional rule that allows, like, your wild weasels. If they get boomed out, they leave, but the rest of your bombers keep going. Or if your fighters get boomed out, they leave, but the bombers keep going. Because we don't want just 3 fighters to be shot down and the whole strike package to leave. That's not how it works, but the fighter element themselves might have pitched out of the fight based on the losses they took. All right. So that was shooting in the rear arc. Shooting head on is the exact same, except they get to shoot back. So there's always a little bit of a risk there. This may seem like something that's a really, really good plan. I'm going to take a head-on shot as the MiG against the F-105. So we'll see how it rolls out. So 5, 2. Okay, this is exactly how I would expect. This is my kind of luck. So the MiG missed. So now I don't even have to defend. I just get to shoot back. So 3 dice, 2 dice, 5 total for the 105. Luckily, he missed. My luck, he would have hit. And so now I would have taken a boom chip. I would have had to defend, possibly lost a level of advantage. What generally happens to me is this ends like that with a boom chip on me because I shot, missed him, and he hit me coming back, and I didn't defend. The other time it gets a little bit interesting is when you shoot somebody in a deflection shot. So one of the problems flying jets is always getting your nose out far enough in a deflection shot to actually influence someone that's flying by at 300 plus knots. Shooting is the same, but defending, when you, excuse me, when you're this defensive fighter, I guess I should put people at the right advantage states. Oops. Flip him over. When you defend, there we go. When you defend against a shot that's a deflection shot, you add your pilot skill to your speed. So that's a lot of dice. So in that case, it'd be 19 dice. This man has rolled 34 dice and failed to get a single 6. So yes, it is possible to fail a check like that. But that would be a very straightforward one where you probably would give them a boom chip. What's that? Who?
I mean, yeah, speed dice based on.
Right. Oh, based on the speed on the card. So on the card, yeah, target speed. So he would add 14 for the max speed.
Not the actual speed, when max.
Was max speed is exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Easier to shoot him down,
No, it's actually harder to shoot him down, but you add that max speed. So you had 14 dice. So the odds of him defending are that much higher. That's his defensive dice, not your. Yeah. So he defends with 14 dice plus his pilot skill, so 19 dice for an ace. So, yeah, it makes it. Yeah. All right. So that's how it shoots in different angles. With Vietnam, we now also have missiles. So missiles make things a little more interesting. Missiles work just like a gun. You take a shot just like you would with a gun. The range for guns is conveniently 6 inches. It's one of these stanchions. If you're shooting a missile, it will have a range on the card. And in this case, if it's the old AIM-9 Bravos, that's between 3 and 12 inches. So that's why we have a tape out here. So take Okay, so you have a 3-inch minimum range. Let me get rid of my trusty thud and bring a... So if we're going to shoot this guy outside of 3 inches, but inside of 12 inches. Okay, so there's a little bit of overlap with your cannons. But the one thing you have to remember is with the old AIM-9 seeker heads and with a lot of the different missiles, you had to be pointed right at the airplane. So with my guns, I can always shoot when I'm just in arc. When I have an AIM-9, I have to point my pipper directly at his stand. So basically, I have to be bore-sighted directly on him to be able to take that shot in the rear quadrant. Once again, I can't, Vietnam era, I can't shoot an AIM-9, all aspect. All right, and so then what you would do is you would take this firepower number back there, 2, add that to your skill, your pilot skill, and you'd roll those dice. All right, there I managed to hit him with a missile. You would then evaluate what you're doing. Missiles are a little bit different. If you don't dodge, you die. So missiles, if they hit you and you fail to dodge, it's going to be a few boom chits because you're going to take one boom chit for being shot at and a second one for dying. So missiles have a higher percentage chance or have a higher chance to do more damage, but their firepower is usually a lot less. Now, what I will say is we took the historical rates and we actually tripled them. So it used to be that most of these missiles had 0 or even -1 firepower because the odds of shooting somebody with a missile in the Vietnam era were so bad. So to keep the game fun, we've given them positive, firepower values because it's not much fun when someone is out there, let's say as a pilot skill 2, and it used to be when you were shooting an old AIM-9 that was pilot skill or was a firepower 0 weapon, you're rolling 2 dice. If you were firing an AIM-7, it was a -1, so you were rolling 1 die. While very historically accurate, not very much fun. Yeah, exactly. Hey, okay, in 4 Sparrows, I finally got one hit. That's actually kind of historically accurate. Not so much fun in the game. All right, your next question may be, how do I keep track of how many missiles I have? You don't, because what I'll tell you is Blood Red Skies as a game ends before any one of these aircraft that carried more than 2 missiles would have run out of missiles. So you just keep shooting throughout the turns of the game. That may be a little counterintuitive until you play the game and you suddenly realize, well, we played 6 turns and I only had 1 missile shot in the whole game. That's why we don't track individual missiles. The game rarely lasts long enough. Now, we're not going to play with it today. There are some aircraft that have the trait limited load. So there are aircraft that will carry 1, maybe 2 missiles. And those we do simulate tracking them either shooting the missile or not. So I'm not going to go through the rules for that. It's really straightforward and on the card. But there are some aircraft that carry, like a F-105s at one point, carry a single AIM-9 self-defense. So we have ways to keep track of that in the game. All right. Any questions on the dogfight piece of this? And then I'll talk through the air-to-ground bombing the target real quick. And we'll go back through the air-to-ground piece of it when we get to that point. Okay, to bomb a target, you have to be within 6 inches of it and pointed at the target. Or, if you, and I guess the board isn't arranged this way very well, you will have to be pointed at it here. On a larger board with the target in the center, you could be beyond the target. You could have basically overflown the target. But what you have to do is you have to go to disadvantage that turn that you're making that attack. So basically you'll burn your advantage. You can use it to dive if you want, but you have to give up that advantage to make an attack. But you need to be within 6 inches of the target marker out there. And when you make that attack, you're going to roll your pilot skill plus the small number. If you're the F-105, so you're the 3. So if you're like a skill 4 or a skill 3 guy, you would roll 3 dice for pilot skill, 3 dice for your attack, looking for a success. Nope, managed to roll in to miss the target. And that's going to happen. So let me also manage expectations that it will get hilariously frustrating in this game because the dice will not be your friend and 4 airplanes will go through the target and everybody dropped their weapons and nobody hit. Yeah, a lot of things blew up, but it probably wasn't the critical span of the bridge or it wasn't the one piling that was holding the bridge up. You probably did a lot of damage to the target. You didn't do the damage needed to destroy the target. And targets have their own hit points. We're not going to do it now. I'll make it fairly transparent for you guys, but each target has more hit points to cover damage to the structure, damage to AAA, damage to defenses, all that kind of stuff. All right. Oh, did I forget to turn the camera back on? Oopsie. All right. So who wants to fly MiGs? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so we'll split it up. One of the flights, one player will take the 5 and the 2. So yes, you get one really good pilot, and you get one not so good pilot, and then the other one will take a flight of 3. Now, who are my U.S. players? Everyone else. Okay, so it's really easy if we want to split up. If we have 4 players, we can split up and do two of each, 2 100s and 2 105s amongst all the guys. And then I will show you all how to set up and get everything on the board. Any question? There's a lot of other little tiny rules we'll get to as we play them. But
Speed or
you can go between half speed to maximum speed. So you can do anything in between there. So from, for these guys, 7 to 14. All right. American pilots on this side, MiG pilots on that side. And I'll take up my spot in the middle. And actually, okay, so we're going to do three MiG pilots? Yeah, we can do it. Oh, okay. Okay. I told you, no F10s. Okay.
So there's no. So when you're going at full tilt, you disadvantage yourself at full, and you're going full speed.
Yeah.
That isn't an advantage for a jet.
No, it's not, because you're giving up something to accelerate that much. So if you think about it as like unloading in a jet. So I'm going to try to, like a dive, I'm going to burn advantage and I'm going to dive. Then what you're doing is you're unloading, you become very predictable.
Right.
And so if somebody is trying to chase you down or is trying to shoot you, you're not maneuvering in any way, you're being very predictable, but you're gaining a lot of energy at the end of it, or you're moving a lot of distance, then you would have to, in this game, regain your advantage and come back to neutral, which is what a lot of people do when they do that maneuver. I will talk about another rule for jets, because jets, when they're not in a dogfight and not in close, can regain advantage at the start of a turn.
And so being distant, I guess.
Well, yeah, exactly, because basically the theory is they have such high thrust to weight that just by virtue of not being stuck in an engagement, you're going to be able to get your energy back, climb up to a higher altitude, get positional advantage, all those kind of things. So the problem in a jet game is, if you come from playing World War II Blood Red Skies, you're too used to giving up advantage. And I'll show you why you don't want to do that here in a jet game in a second. All right, so we've got, are you playing? Are you going to? Have you played Blood Red Skies before? Oh, yeah, all right. Well, then jump in on the American side. That way I don't have to fly any airplanes. All right. Yeah, so I need 2 players to play 105s. So who wants to fly the bombers? Okay. And then you guys get to fly the fighters. All right. So there's one key mechanic I haven't talked about until I finally put everybody on everyone's sides. The jet mechanic. Okay. So in Blood Red Skies, jet generations define the ability to deny advantage to somebody else. So if you think about it based on thrust to weight, not on maneuverability, but just on thrust to weight, the ability for like an F4 Phantom to regain energy versus a MiG-17. MiG-17 super maneuverable, but that F4, when he plugs in the burners, that's a heck of a lot of energy on a brick, but still a heck of a lot of energy that he can regain. F-105 is the same way. People forget the F-105 was built as a fighter bomber. It's actually a heck of a lot of thrust to weight in that rocket ship of an airframe, and then we put all these big ugly bombs on it and turned it into a bomber. But aircraft like the Thud are a third-generation fighter bomber. So you, in fact, can always climb for advantage at the start of a turn, because they only have second-generation fighters. You, if there's a Thud that is not laden, doesn't have his bombs on, but he has jettisoned his bombs and he's turning with your guys, at the start of the turn, you cannot automatically climb for advantage. He's going to, in a sense, hold you down, and that's within 9 inches. There's basically a 9-inch bubble. So that's kind of what the dogfight range is, about 9 inches. The problem is, F-100s, you're also a second-generation aircraft. So you and the MiG-17, both very maneuverable, but when it comes to thrust to weight, your bomber is actually the king. So this is going to make an interesting tactical decision, is at some point, he may feel threatened enough that he says, I don't care about the target, I need to survive, jettisons the bombs, and then what you thought of as being the easy pickings is now kind of the king of the hill. So.
But he makes you stay in disadvantage, even if you're neutral, which gives him a shot.
Yes, yes. So there's some interesting tactical decisions to be made, and we've seen at DashCon one year, the F-105s decided to hold on to their bombs all the way to the target when they should have jettisoned them early, and they got picked off one by one between SAMs and AAA until the last guy, then after he dropped his bombs, proceeded to clean up 2 of the MiGs. So it's one of those cases that you may think that he's easy pickings, but be careful after he's gotten rid of his bombs. Okay, for the F-100s, you'll each pick 2 of them. Whoever's got the 4 also has the 2. So whoever takes the 4, the other guy will get the less skilled. You guys should have 1 4 and 3 3s over there for the F-105s. Ignore the G model. But what we're going to do is obviously the 100s are going to show up on the board first as the MiG sweep. 3 of the MiGs, whoever wants to be the 3 MiG player, is going to start on the board. And so you're kind of the decoy element, whichever one of you wants to be the 3 MiGs. The 2 MiGs, that's the killing element. So the 3 MiGs are supposed to tie down everybody else, so the 2 MiGs can come in from high cover and either bounce the bombers or bounce the other fighters that are out there. So I'll let you 2 decide which one you want to do there. Marines. Yeah, Marine F-18 was a... Yeah, that's exactly how I know the F-10. Let me sneak around here and get one more thing. I need to grab one of mine. Oh, really?
He was in Kandahar when they got attacked off the ground.
Oh, odds are I might know him because those guys are, a lot of them are my time frame. Not off the top of my head. It's probably junior to me because I retired in 2014, so. The name rings a bell, and this is going to drive me nuts now. I'm going to have to think who it was. Yeah, because Otis, the CO that was killed, was one of my peers, so same time frame as me.
Bob said, what did you do? Grabbed a pistol and
Yeah.
ran forward fire.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for you guys, you're all going to come in the bombers from what we call high cover. So anywhere along your board edge, triangle marker with an airplane in the center of it, just place that on the board. Yep, that one right there.
So what spacing are we?
You're going to show up basically within 2 inches of each other. So just place that marker wherever you want your aircraft to eventually come onto the board. So it can be in the center, it can be off the side. All right, which of you is the killing element?
So I guess I'm the killer, and
Okay.
he's to be the guy who ties everything
Perfect. So you can put your high cover marker anywhere from the mid half of the board back and around kind of this U shape, wherever you want to be. And just like normal high cover in Blood Red Skies, you can move 9 inches, that high cover marker. Yeah, you can keep moving it each turn and choose not to come in. So you can keep flanking around behind the F-100s and wait a couple turns to come in. Obviously, he's now having to tie everyone down in the dogfight, but it gives you a chance to come in behind them and things like that. So wherever you want to place that marker on the board. Sorry, on the edge. Yeah, anywhere on the edge. Yeah. Okay. All right, so seeing where your bombers are coming from, it's up to you how you want to do it. You can split up on either side of them, but you basically are going to have to deploy your airplanes before the MiGs do, because once again, everybody knows you're coming. The MiGs are still going to, they've obviously put one of their elements back here, so you know that this is generally where the MiG air base is then. It's coming from the threat is from this direction, but you're going to go ahead and deploy yours as flights of 2. They just have to be within 2 inches of each other. On a heading going that way.
What's the little wing?
Oh, I'll talk about that. Those are activation markers to show that you've actually moved.
Do we deploy them like on the
Yep. Yeah, just right on the edge, just pointing inboard within, in an element within 2 of each other. And we'll talk about starting advantage states and everything here in a second.
So since we're first, where do we put
Just right up along the edge of the board, anywhere.
they're more going to be on this side?
You can be wherever you want along this line, along this side of the board.
Bombers are coming.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. All right. So the last 3 MiGs, they can all place anywhere, basically where the targets are or close to your board edge. They all have to be within 3 inches of each other.
Okay.
Sorry, 2 inches of each other. I don't know why I said 3. 2.
Do I need to move my planes closer?
Nope. Just you can bump it a little bit. 2-ish inches. The good thing is you don't have to keep coherence or anything like that once you start the game. It's always elements have to kind of arrive together, then they can do their own thing. They can split off and they don't have to stay together. But elements in the game show up together, so it at least forces some tactical coherency at the beginning, and then people lose all discipline and go every which way.
Developing the Evo EW tactics
For this,
for the game system.
yeah, so there's a lot of things we've worked on. EW is one of those weird things well, they love to, but for me, coming from a Wizzo background, it's critical to this, but we really tried to have it via the card play, because in the time frame of the dogfight target engagement, there's not a whole lot of change to everything. You know, it's kind of the, okay, did we have it coming into the target area? Do we not have it? You know, and where you put yourself. So I would love to, at one point, I was talking with a couple other game designers, do one that was all about the interaction of EW with an IAD. So like you have your SA2 sites out there, and what's your alignment, and yeah.
We were jamming.
Mhm.
Soviet stuff.
Yep.
We would strip them down as a chill plate, just build them back up.
Okay, so you've got yours there. So yeah, jamming US stuff. Yeah. So for you guys, each of you grab a die out of there, and roll that die for your starting advantage. Same for you, that'll be the starting advantage for your one guy there, or for your three guys there. So if you get a 1 or a 2, you're going to start disadvantaged. If you get a 3 or 4, you're going to be neutral. 5 or a 6, you're advantaged. So, yep. So you're disadvantaged, and it's not a big deal on the first turn, because the first thing a jet can do is, once again, when it activates, if it's not in a dogfight, if it's not within that 9-inch bubble of a that equal or higher generation, it can gain a level. But think about this for a second. So because the initiative order is advantaged aircraft, then neutral aircraft, then disadvantaged, if he chooses to give up advantage and dive across the board, he could possibly get within 9 inches of you. Yeah. So it's one of those tactical decisions. Do you, like you said, do I get rid of all this energy at the beginning and try to get across the board and influence him, but then now I've given up some of that energy so the other fighters can attack me? Okay, are we ready for the first turn? Once you've moved, you put these little wing things, and they're color-coded. So you guys have the orange, you all have the blue. And it really gets important as we get into the central part of the dogfight, because more people have moved and more people have lost advantage, gained advantage, and people, you'll see it'll get very confusing as to who has or hasn't gone without those. Okay, so we'll start advantage aircraft first. Oh, and just for those of you that have the high cover markers, at the end of any turn is when you would come onto the board. So at the end of a turn.
So we can choose.
Yes, you can choose when.
We can look.
Yeah, you go, nope, I'm going to wait. Now, the thing to think about, though, is you wait too long, and if the fighters get boomed out, all of a sudden you're running into the target with no escorts. So there's fine mix. So you probably want to let them go a turn or two forward. And then, yes, you can. You can voluntarily, at the start of your activation, you can jettison those bombs, and then you're a full-up fighter. Yeah, and then I'm going to just give you all kinds of penalties for victory points. Didn't achieve the mission. Congrats. All right. So for advantage, and it's going to go 4s, no advantage 4s, advantage 3s. All right. You can make your move there. You don't have to worry about gaining advantage at the start because you're already advantaged. So then from then on, you can either decide to burn advantage or to just make a straight maneuver.
And they can't shoot me because I'm
Correct, because you're advantaged. So you probably don't want to give up your advantage. You probably want to stay advantaged as long as possible. So anything between 7 and 14 inches, because you're... Yes, exactly. Absolutely. So you see that a lot of times, that these guys will race out. These guys will make minimum moves and turn and try to build some separation in there. Yep. And then you can... Oh, sorry.
It's our speed rating.
14. Oh, 15, sorry, yeah. So it would be between 8 and 15 because you're 15, so it's half rounded up. So that's the... Yeah. Let's go get all those guys. So the one thing I haven't talked about, and it's not important yet, when you get behind an enemy aircraft, there's a situation called tailing, when you're pointed directly at him. That will drive them all the way down to disadvantage, because it's assumed I have become saddled in on this guy 6 o'clock. He is now my target. He's going to go to disadvantage. Unless he has a wingman, and just to your point, as we talked about how people are trying to gain back their advantage and everything, you also find yourself putting a wingman behind the other airplane, and your forward arc if someone is inside that forward arc, they can't tail an enemy airplane. So basically, it's that MiG that gets in the middle of all the fighters and goes, yeah, well, I want to shoot that guy, but that guy's threatening me. So I can't put all my concentration into tailing him and making him disadvantaged. So, all right. So, yep. So now it's going to be neutral 4s, and all 3 of your neutrals can move at the same time. And we'll talk about the cards here in a second, because I put the cards out there. And we'll play a turn or 2 before we throw those in. Excuse me.
Okay. You have great energy as a gamer.
Thank you. It's so funny. We do Aeronautica Imperialis and Blood Red Skies. We stream it every once in a while at my home game store in Huntsville. And it's one of those funny things that trying to watch yourself on the screen and make sure that you're engaging in everything as you're trying to play the game. Juggling too many things at once.
Now, did you say you were a Wizzo?
I was an F-18 Wizzo in the Marine Corps, so I flew F-18Ds. So yeah. I will not complain about that job ever. It was a wonderful job.
Really?
It was awesome. It was amazing.
Now, is that a single seat?
It's 2 seats. So the Marine Corps had 2-seat legacy combat capable aircraft. In the Navy, all their 2-seaters were just trainers until the Super Hornet came out. But we had 72 6 squadrons worth of combat capable 2-seaters.
Not like a huge plane knowledgeable person, but like the F-18. Is that the one with the wings?
No, it's the one that was in Top Gun 2. So that was the Super Hornet, and that there was a legacy version, an older one like ours. So yeah, was the 14 has the swing wings. Yep. Okay, now remember at the end of your turn, you can climb for advantage, and if you have nothing else to do, all those guys can automatically come up and be advantaged now.
Pre-measure?
Yes. So now, it's a fun game to play when you can't. We used to do that, and we played a whole Malta game with, oh, hey, well, what's up, troublemaker? We played a whole Malta game with no pre-measurement, and I about lost my mind. Because the number of times you're like, oh, yeah, I'm absolutely within shot range. And then you put it out there like, well, I just used my pilot action and no, I'm not within range, so yeah. We have a grudge match.
Okay.
I don't know if everyone told you. We have a grudge match. You and me.
I'll play on Sunday.
There we go. Sounds like a plan.
Do we put our little...
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Put your little wings on the airplanes.
Between bolt action on...
Yeah, wherever it fits into everyone's schedule. Okay. So now the disadvantaged planes. Now, remember, as a jet, you can gain a level of advantage at the start of your activation if no other aircraft or no other enemy aircraft of a same or higher generation is within 9 inches. So he opted to stay out of the fight. So those aircraft can come up to neutral. They can. Yeah. I grew up in Huntsville and just moved back there 2021, I guess.
Yeah, I've lived a bunch of places, but now we're northeast of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah. I couldn't live up here in the winters. They would kill me.
I'm originally from Boston.
Oh, yeah. So to you, it's old hat. I couldn't know it. And remember, you have a pilot action at the end of your move, so you can choose to climb for advantage. Yeah.
The guy at the Raytheon, we all call it Raytheon Air Force.
Yeah.
The Raytheon supported aircraft. The reason it was all Navy was he was a Navy reservist.
Yeah.
And I think he flew R-8. So whenever he was going to get airplanes, he'd always get, because
You get all the reserve airframes.
North Ramp at Holloman,
Yeah.
they had arrested him.
Yeah.
So he wanted tail hooks, so he could come.
Gotta have, exactly, land that thing like you meant it. Okay, so that's the end of the first turn. Super easy. Anyone from high cover, do you want to either move onto the board, or you can move your high cover marker? Okay, yeah, you guys probably don't want to. Do you want to move your high cover marker? All right. Yep. So you see what he's doing. Basically, they're starting to threaten around behind your side there. So you'll need to take that into account here shortly. All right. So everybody pull your little wing markers off. Oh, you're going to put, okay, cool.
We got to come in, how close?
And they're going to come in automatically advantaged because they, it's all right, just, I don't, oh, that's, that one, don't worry about. Actually, switch that one out. Just set over on the side and then use, yep, no, that's fine. That's the G anyway, so we'll use 2 of those. Yep. Yeah, none of that, no wild weasels in this one. All right. So now we'll go advantaged 4s, but now we have to go by speed. So you guys are 14s, you're a 15, so your advantage 4 will go first.
Cool. Just long pop.
And do remember, eventually you will be in a place to shoot aim 9s. We can talk about that when you get to it.
So I got to move first.
What are you just gonna do without this plane?
No, we're not going to use that one anyway. So
With my speed being.
I don't have a SAM on there. Yeah. Yes.
Do I have to use that full speed?
No.
Is
You
there
get
like a minimum?
your minimum is half rounded up, so 8. So you could move an 8, and if you burned advantage, you could move somewhere in the middle of that 8. You could obviously pivot.
And then if you do like an Immelman
Mhm,
thing,
mhm.
does that, do you lose advantage?
Yes. So if you're doing the equivalent of an Immelman, let's say there's a bandit right here, you would burn advantage, so he'd go to neutral. You'd move him back there, turn him 180 degrees around. Now you might not want to immediately shoot the guy. You might say, "Oh, I'm going to climb back for advantage," and regain that advantage.
So if
Or you
I-
might shoot him.
If I went down from
Yes.
advantage to normal,
Yep.
I could now turn because right now.
Correct.
Can I turn?
You can turn 45 at the end. Yeah, yeah.
At the end.
At the end, so you can't turn in the middle of it.
kind
Now,
of like
so
flying straight
this
into
is a good point. So we'll raise this now. You see, I put the trait cards out there. So because you asked the question, yes, an F-100 could turn at the beginning of its move if it wanted to. So you would then go here and you'd flip over one of these rapid roll cards,
Okay.
and now you make a 45-degree turn at the beginning instead of the end of the move, and you don't have to give up any advantage. But it's one of your trait actions that you would give up for the turn. Or you could say, I don't want to do that. I want to save that card for later. And
So I can only use it.
we'll use it once per turn. So these all come back at the end of every
These
turn.
are communal?
Yes, well, they're communal for all 4 of you. Yeah, so that you get 4 trait cards between 4 airplanes. So you also kind of have to say, hey, man, I'm going to shoot this turn, but do you need to maneuver? And you have to split it between your 2 traits.
Would you be okay with me using this now? Because I can only fly straight into the other team. Sure. Shoot me.
Yeah, so flip that one over, and then
Since they're both advantage, can they?
they can't shoot each other yet until somebody outmaneuvers.
If
Yeah.
I fly forward, the minimum.
Yeah.
For those of you just joining us here on the Lead Pursuit Podcast YouTube live stream from Historicon, we are playing a Beyond MiG Alley Blood Red Skies game using the add-on Beyond MiG Alley rules you can find at leadpursuit.net. Also running this as a demo game. So Doug is walking through some new players, and we're going to get back to Doug's explanation. If you have any questions, we are in the chat on YouTube. We're trying to keep up with that. And now back to Doug.
Fly over, you turn 45 to the left, you could fly over next to his pilot skill 3.
Yeah.
And because outmaneuvering gives pilot skill versus pilot skill 4 versus 3, you would automatically knock his 3 down to neutral.
And do I have to be looking at him? to do
Nope,
that?
you just got to be within 9 inches.
Okay, so and I'll do that then. So
Okay.
I can turn.
Yeah, so you just flip the rapid roll. Yep.
This.
Yeah, pick one of the 3s that you just get within 9 inches of him, and
Like that.
yeah. And then so it would be the closest one. You would say for your pilot action, outmaneuver, so that far right-hand aircraft will go to neutral. Now this is why, yeah. Well, because you have to compare the pilot skill. So if you tried to outmaneuver the 4, he would have had a chance to roll. So the trick is to kind of use your experienced pilots first. Now mark that guy, and this is why you marked the wings, because all of a sudden one of your guys is now going well after everybody else. So your game plan has to kind of change all of a sudden. You're not moving all 3 at once. One guy is going to move later than a lot of the other players.
If he was facing now, though, could he have shot at it, or is that it?
No, there are certain traits that allow you to outmaneuver and shoot, but they're single pilot action. Yeah, yeah. So because he couldn't do that. But now what he's done is he's set up. There's one bandit that these 3 fighters, if they chose to, could take a shot at if they can maneuver and be close.
My guy can.
Yeah. So now it would be advantage 4 by speed would be you. Your advantage 4 will go next.
It's basically it's 2 advantage guys.
Actually, wait. Sorry, it's he's laden, so you're -1 pilot skill. Sorry, advantage 4. I forgot about that.
First, these 2 guys are gonna
What's that? Yeah, the first thing you do is shoot. If someone flies out in front of you, no, because they're both advantaged.
Was the lowest. You have to shoot only could shoot somebody below.
Below you, correct.
Now,
Have to have a lower state of advantage because he used his pilot action to outmaneuver him.
now my 2 actually has.
So instead of shooting, he chose to outmaneuver. Because shoots the first and last thing you can do.
You could also try.
Exactly. And so that's what you do a lot of times. You take that high skill guy, you stick him out in front. He's now vulnerable to this guy here, and this is where we'll see if he's devious enough to get in for a shot
You guys are always going to be disadvantaged.
until they get ready to attack. Or they're always going to be advantaged until they get ready to attack, and they lose. Yep, then they'll lose all their.
Happens to come up with a 9-inch.
Oh, well, yeah, if one of those guys flies out in front of you, you can't shoot your forward-firing guns without jettisoning your weapons. So you basically can't roll in on them unless you jettison your bombs. Because trust me, flying with several thousand pounds on the wing and try to, yeah, exactly, try to get right in there and gun someone. And there's a little bit of a gameism there because theoretically you could shoot a missile, but what we do is we say anyone who's an attack aircraft that's laden, we don't let you shoot at other aircraft that flies in front of you.
So the Americans, they don't shoot at you when you're flying. I don't think
Yeah.
My dad was a private pilot, and in the Air Force, he was a mechanic.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, John Russell was I don't know if you know him over with Warlord. He was both a maintenance technician in the Air Force in 106s, then was the communications officer when he got commissioned.
those F-86s had virtually no prime power.
Yeah.
Whenever we flew our fives, we had to put a ram air turbine.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, yeah, because the only thing that was electrical in that was the gun sight. Yeah, I mean, what else was that? Well, you have like a radio. There was nothing else.
Brought a ram air turbine generator.
Yeah.
from the-
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we had the problem in the F-18 that we actually had too much electronics. The generators that were designed by Boeing were not for all the stuff that we added in 20 years later.
One day the cleaning crew came in, we had 3 5 set in the next time.
Yeah.
Stop, look at it. What? Are those torpedoes alive?
No, they're not torpedoes.
Can't tell you.
And they're all advanced. Okay. So,
Ram air turbine generator, a module, I would
tie them up in the middle.
Since I'm looking at the chat, hello, Roz.
So you're broadcasting.
Yeah, we're live streaming this, and so a couple of our BRS players are on.
That's what to that maneuver. Then you would burn your.
I'm not dynamic on video. Where are you going to?
Yeah, don't worry about it. We're just filming the board itself, so
But if
yeah.
someone like tries to take a picture of me,
It always turns out that's Steve. It always turns out the worst. He's like, "How do I take such terrible photos?" I'm like, "I don't know." Yes, Steve. The world will know one day of all those photos.
When my daughter was younger and I needed to take a photo at home,
Yeah.
I would have her come in the room and then my wife take a picture because if she was in the room, I could smile.
Yeah, you can
more
smile and you can.
naturally than try to just put on.
I can tell you all are overthinking this. Blood Red Skies is a fast game.
This is war game.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wargaming. We're going to overthink this.
Beach pose another aircraft.
Oh, 9 inches for outmaneuver. Yep.
So as long as you're 9 inches away from them,
Yeah. So move. You know, don't move the other guys yet. Yeah. So just move the 4 first. Yeah. So you got to be a little bit closer than. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. So here's an interesting point. So not that it's going to change things, but yeah, he should be within 9. Let me sneak in here. All right, cool. So something that also you take into account, and it's not going to matter much here, but which is the closest aircraft. So this guy is the closest aircraft, so he gets a bonus to his pilot skill because you're not outmaneuvering the closest. But it's just a +1 bonus, so he's still less than you. So even though you know, he's a 2 and you're a 4, you're still going to outmaneuver him because he gets that bonus and just goes to 3. So Yeah. All right. So he's going to outmaneuver you. I'll drop your airplane. So you'll go to neutral. Yep. And then yeah, you don't change yours at all. It doesn't cost you anything to outmaneuver. That's just your pilot action. And so then put your marker on. And if you want to turn up to 45 at the end of your move, or if you want to still face forward, whatever. Yeah. All right.
Be quiet after we generate our. Yeah. Flip off the bottom.
Yes. Yes. So then when you shoot, there's a possibility that if you get a success, it's actually, and we'll talk about critical hits on those. Okay. So then it would be advantage 3. So your next advantage, hold on, let me get this right. 3s by speed. These two guys will go first.
Laden aircraft go last.
Right. Well, they drop down a pilot skill level, so it'll be an advantage 3 and a 2 for.
So I
go ahead.
can go over to them and shoot them, right?
Yes, absolutely. So you could play the other rapid roll card, turn 45 at the start, and then drive 14 inches and shoot at that neutral aircraft. That would be wise. But only one of them could do it. So.
Unfortunately, you run out of cards.
Yeah, exactly. So.
But this is per turn, right?
Right. Yeah. So that will all regenerate. So you can make up a 45-degree turn to start. Yeah, and then move your distance, and that should easily put you inside gun range. Okay, and then no, let's finish his movement. So they've made their movement. So then take and make sure that you're within 6 inches. Okay, now this is going to be a fun one. Oh, have to see which arc you're in. So let me just slide over here. So you just would take a look, and I'll use yours. All right, so from this guy, it's going to be in the side arc. So he's going to get to defend with a lot of dice, but you still have a good chance to cause a boom chit. So your pilot skill is 3, and you've got a firepower of 2, so 5 dice. And if you want, you can roll on the dice straight. Doesn't matter. Whatever's easiest to keep track. Here's camera set up for it. Okay, you got 3 successes. That's actually really good. So the first thing is we put a boom chit on those guys. Now he got a critical hit on you because he got more than 1 success. So you'll lose a die when you defend, which you're still defending with your pilot skill of 3 plus 14, 17. You only get 16 dice when you defend. I don't know if you can make it. So just put that on your squadron card, wherever it is. Sorry, right here, your MiG. Right, and then roll your god-awful number of dice to defend.
So,
and however you want to split it up, you can. Sorry.
Number of defense dice.
Yep.
Is speed now plus.
When it's in the deflection shot, it'll be speed plus
His pilot skill.
Yep, plus his pilot skill.
Your speed is 14 right now, plus the pilot skill, whichever of those 3.
3, so 17, then minus 1 for the
16.
the critical.
How did the 3 hits work?
What's that?
How did the 3 6s work?
Oh, so what happens is anything above a single success is a critical hit. And so then it just means he pulls a die. It doesn't go up by 3 or... Okay, yeah. I think you did. I think you got it. All right. So you don't lose a level advantage. But you guys did give him a boom chit. When they have more boom chits than airplanes still in the game, that squadron disengages. So, all right. Then the advantage, the next, put your marker on him. Put the little wing fly marker. It'll after his 3, then your 105 4, who's going to act like a 3, will go next. Yeah. Yep. All right, then put your token on him. All right, so that 4 for the 105s will move.
How far can you go?
So max of 14. Now you probably wonder, you're like, why the heck does an F-100 have a higher speed than the F-105 that was actually a much faster aircraft? Turn rate. So we use speed also to help simulate turn rate in the game. He's able to turn tighter than you all can, and so that's why he actually has a lower speed in the terms of the game. Because nobody's going to be going supersonic in the dogfight. If they are, they don't want to be in the dogfight anymore. They're trying to leave. All right. So then your advantage 3.
You gotta be within 6 inches.
So you can always shoot and do this. Just lay that out. Yeah, exactly. I lay that out so I know exactly how close I've got to get. Now you do have the trait heavy hitter. So if you get within 3 inches, that's super powerful for you guys. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I can move that out of the way.
It's all up to here. If you have
Well, I got 14 inches.
7 or 6.
7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And I think you'll be just outside of 3, but we'll see.
Base to base, right?
Yeah, base to base. Yeah, it's just right outside of 3.
That's fine. Against
All right.
the 2, I think
Yeah.
I'll go for the hitter.
Yep. Okay. So are you going to shoot him? Okay. So it's your firepower, that number there, plus your pilot skill. Okay.
Would you have harm missing?
Yeah. So we carried harm. Okay.
This one.
Yep. Okay. So you got 1 success. So a boom chit goes over here on the 100 squadron, and the pilot skill 2 now defends with 2 agility and 2 pilot skill. So 4 dice.
This is less because he's hitting me head on.
No, it's your pilot skill 2 and your agility 2. So yeah, so it's head on and tail on. You use your agility. From deflection, you use your speed.
Right. Okay, gotcha. Because I was wondering, I was like, he rolled.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's because you were shooting him in the side arc. Okay, so you defended, so you don't lose a level of advantage. You're good there. Now you get to shoot back. So your firepower 2, pilot skill 2, 4 dice. And remember, you are heavy hitter. Oh, you're outside 3, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so you guys take another. Yeah, and they start to accumulate. So now you need to defend with 3 dice plus 2 for your agility, 5 dice.
So they have 4 aircraft?
Yeah, they have 5 total.
5.
Okay, so you defended, so you're good. All right, you don't lose a level advantage. Go ahead and mark your guy.
All right, Todd, your last airplane.
Yeah, so now so yeah, we had harm, we had a lot of other PGM capabilities that were kind of our thing as the Wizzo to run.
So harm are really fast, right? Are they?
They're fast. They're like a lot of things, weapon systems you trade sometimes speed for accuracy.
Oh, okay.
But harm is a cool weapon system because it's anti-radiation, so it
Does it target quite well then?
they've made a lot of advances over the years. It's a cool weapon system. There's things that like any weapon system, it can be decoyed. It can be fooled. We always tell the story. Yeah, we always tell the story of the, as we call it, the burrito in a microwave during Operation Allied Force. That literally an F-18 shot a harm at something they thought was a SAM site, and it was just not. It was something radiating in the wrong spectrum, and and sure enough, it landed in the middle of a city. So oops. But yeah. All right. So all these guys have moved except for the neutral. So let's go to the neutral. So we have a neutral 3 by speed. So your guy. Now, so once again, a jet when it activates normally could climb up, but there's a jet 2, same generation as you, so you can't gain advantage at the start of your move.
Okay. I've already fired because I got shot at.
Yes.
Am I no
Yeah.
longer
No,
able-
you can still, if someone is at a lower advantage level, then you could shoot at them.
Right.
So yeah.
I haven't wait.
What's that? No, but you just can't end up on top of somebody else's. What up? What trouble are you guys getting into? Oh, good.
Just so we can, super dump 50 tonight.
Exactly.
I told Kat to do it at 45 degrees.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go ahead.
Harm accidentally locked on to the tail gun radar of a B-52.
Yeah. I can't talk about that. Love talking about that. Not going to talk about it.
I'm going to play the scrap and roll.
Yes.
It's sort of like asking if
And turns.
certain airplane business systems like this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. A Coke, a Diet Coke or Coke Zero or whatever would be great.
Try to shoot at targets behind.
Yeah, so that'll take you to 9. You ever heard of finger there?
Terrain bound.
Yes. That was one of our least favorite. Yeah.
Said the pilot's needed.
All right.
Fly straight level. Ignore all the radar warning.
But it would mess our systems up bad. It was
I'm sorry, could you want?
TB, terrain bounce.
Turn to swap
You got
and
very
then
high.
Right, yep, and then put your... Now, what do you want to do for your pilot action?
So you've already advantage.
For your neutral, so...
No, you can shine it.
Yeah, you could climb. Now, so here's the thing to remember. Everybody around you is this equal or higher generation, so you can't climb. So that leaves you with outmaneuver kind of as your last thing that you could probably do. So you might as well try to outmaneuver somebody. Now, they're all the same pilot skill as you or higher, so they're going to get to roll, but you can still try to outmaneuver them.
Yeah, let's
Okay, so pick which of the aircraft you want to outmaneuver.
try to outmaneuver.
Okay, so and that one definitely is the closest. So whose 3 is that? Your 3?
me.
Okay, so you will defend with 3 dice plus 2 for your agility, 5 dice.
So he shot already.
No, he's trying to outmaneuver you. But because you're equal pilot skills, you get to roll to defend. Okay, so you failed, so we'll move you down to neutral. So basically, in all that, as he passed you, he tricked you into giving up a little bit of your energy, and now you're neutral. All right, so flag your aircraft, and now and the 2 is the last guy to move.
So I can turn 45 degrees to start.
No, you can't because you've used all your rapid roll cards.
So it's only after.
Yep. So now you have to basically move 40. You move your full move and then turn 45 at the end.
But you don't have to go the full. No. You said as a jet at the beginning of my turn.
If there's not another jet of equal or higher generation within 9 inches. Yeah. So they're all holding you down. Yeah, they're all holding you down. So you won't. Yeah. I hate it when that happens. So people ask why are the jet rules that way? Well, Andy, when he did the rules for MiG Alley for Korea era, wanted the jet combat to be much more slashing. So by having that rule where you couldn't just regain energy, forces you to fly more than 9 inches away from the enemy, regain your advantage, and now come back into the fight. So it makes for a different dynamic than World War II. It is. It's more historical. It's closer to how you fight. And, from my background with F-18s, the first time I played a jet game, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just how it develops. If you get anchored into the fight, everybody kind of goes to the lowest common denominator and suddenly has no energy, and suddenly everyone's disadvantaged.
So because I've moved to there.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Pilot action.
Yeah, you still get, yep.
So I can't fly him?
Nope, because he's too close. Yep.
Close, so all I can do is
Yep.
outmaneuver. So I could try and force.
Yeah, you could. And he'll roll 4 dice plus 2 for his agility. So for your pilot skill 4, go ahead. He's going to try to outmaneuver you, so roll 6 dice.
You have to move before you do this. Try to.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you got 1, so you passed. So, all right. So that should be the end of the turn, right? Okay. High cover. Do high cover aircraft want to come on? Okay, go ahead and. Yep. You have to come straight onto the board, basically within. Yes. I'll go ahead and. Yep. So there you go. And now he gets to ruin everybody's initiative because the pilot skill 5 advantaged aircraft. So congratulations, you move first now. Everyone go ahead and pull your markers real quick. This is the point when everybody goes, Doug, why did you put a speed 5 or a skill 5 pilot as the high cover? To teach you to watch wherever the bandits are. Yep, flip those back over. Flip your action cards.
Your action card gets flipped.
Yep.
So what are we gonna do? Do 3 more booms on the planes, and they modify it. So just keep it up.
So here's the thing to remember. So remember the max range on your AIM-9s is 12 inches. That's actually a heck of a lot on this board. Oops, sorry about that. So that's the max range of your AIM-9. So there are aircraft that may be neutral that may be in a position where you can use rapid roll, or you can be in a firing solution pretty quickly for them. So the interesting, and I'm going to go down a rulesism with you guys just because it's one of the things that people lose track of in the card. Rapid roll, it has to be the 45-degree turn at the beginning, or when you do it, it has to be during your movement. There are cards called doctrine cards that allow you to turn 45 at the beginning of your turn. So you activate, you turn 45 automatically. That then allows you to use that chute that's right there to immediately take a shot on somebody that may have been out of arc until you just pivoted on them. So
2 plus 5, so I've got 7. I'm going to try and take number 4 down in that event.
oh, you're just going to try to outmaneuver him? Okay, and I think he is the closest, but
Yeah.
let me just check here. So he's basically 7.5. That guy, yep, okay. So you will automatically lose a level of advantage. So he managed to just threaten you. All right, put your marker on him. Advantaged 4s by speed, so the advantage for F-100.
Does me? Yeah. Right?
Yep. The real question is now the time to give up advantage to get into firing position? Yes or no? That's the tough question.
I can't remember. Are we capable of attacking the target at all?
No, you guys are not. So it's only the
So
F-105s.
there's no real reason for me to fly
Nope.
up there.
Nope. So now is probably the time that you say, hey, do I burn advantage and get directly behind a MiG, and then choose to either use AIM-9s or my cannon? Realizing if you're going to use your cannon, you're going to get within 3 inches probably, so you can use heavy hitter. If AIM-9s, you want to be 3 to 12 inches. So
Like what I could do, like he's lower in advance.
yep. So he's probably the guy you want to target.
But the problem is, I don't think I can, even if I did like a,
So burn. So I would. Here's. Sorry, I'm going to show him one of this. Is one of the tactics. So you would burn advantage, but remember, if you get in a position where you're in his 6 o'clock, pointed directly at him, and he doesn't have a wingman protecting him, then you will knock him all the way to disadvantage.
oh,
So
even if I,
Yeah, the real question is, do you want to shoot him with an AIM-9 missile, or do you want to shoot him with gun? And there's no wrong answer in that one. That's just which dice do you feel luckiest about?
Back with the, there's no,
But you basically, it's burning advantage to maneuver is the same thing. You move,
okay, so
you do, yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay, so go ahead and make your guy neutral then. So you're going to burn advantage.
You have to just do it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, you can opt to. He's one of those guys. No. You can opt to make that up to 180-degree turn anywhere in your move.
Okay.
So now you just need to think about the geometry you want for the weapon you want. If it's guns, you want to get within 3 inches and get close.
I want to get real
Okay,
close, 'cause
perfect.
I can use
Then
heavy
then that one, I mean, if your min move is still 8, you're going to have to go out a few and then come back directly pointed at him. So
So
you
if I went forward,
go for like 3,
yeah,
you know,
so like
and then
there.
turn to where your nose pipper is pointed directly at him, and then come back to where you're within 3 inches of him. So however many you need to do that. No, that's burning it. He was burning advantage. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And you should well be within, 3. Yep. You're within 3. Okay. So then, and once again, all of his wingmen, their forward arcs are pointed away from you. So that will automatically make him disadvantaged. So even though you gave up some energy to become neutral, you still have an opportunity to shoot.
And then I'm going to use
Yep. So use heavy hitter.
which flip it.
Yep. It auto crits basically if you hit. So now go roll your 4 dice, 6 dice, and add dice. So you get 7. So you get 7 dice. Okay. So it's an automatic critical hit. So there's your boom shit anyway, and you will defend with 1 less die. So you would defend normally with 5. For 3 plus 2, you'll defend with 4 now.
Right, because I'm in the rear arc, so it's not
he's not going.
Yeah, he's not
straight
going
across.
speed. Yep, exactly. Okay, so he defended. He didn't get shot down. Nobody get rid of a MiG. Yeah. Well, yeah. And so once again, the engagement has happened. Everybody's, desire to stick around is getting less and less and less. The water is getting deeper for all of them. But the thing to remember is you guys have a boom chit on yourselves as well. So he has 2 advantaged fighters or 3, 4, a bunch of advantaged fighters that may choose to ignore you all and maybe going straight for the bombers. So the bombers are going to have a quick decision here. All right. So that was the end of yours. You marked yours. Advantage 4 by MiGs. Yep.
And is it once there's full boom chips to how many?
Greater than. So what happens is greater than, as soon as one side has more boom chits than aircraft in that squadron on the board, then that's considered the last turn for that squadron. Now, if it's their MiGs and you boom them out, then it's going to be last turn of the game.
Yeah.
What we normally do is like if the MiGs get boomed out, then we basically still have the F-105s go and roll their dice. Because the opportunities, they may get shot down by the AAA, they may miss the target. There's still story there to be filled out, but the fact is now they're going into the target area unopposed. So it's,
Yeah, I gotta do something. So maybe I'll just go 3
exactly. Yeah. So what they can do, and it's really frustrating as like a fighter bomb, is you keep defending because they're shooting at you like a deflection shot. You're like, yeah, whatever, you're not shooting me down, but you're still accumulating boom chits. So after a couple turns with MiGs attacking the fighter bombers, they're like, we've had enough of this.
He's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So that, I went 4. Puts me at 8. I really kind of want
You don't
to.
have to do. You just do 7 if you want.
Yes. No.
Are you going to try to tail him basically?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just remember your pipper has to be pointed right at his stem to tail him.
Okay. Yeah, shoot, I'm trying to make sure I'm sending.
Yep. No, that's where the geometry of it always gets to be interesting. Yeah. So you could have basically you would have just turned back. Was that where your pivot point kind of was, or was it back there? Oh.
About 2 inches further.
Yeah.
All right, about there. Yeah, so at that point you would just pivot that direction and then come back in on that arc directly,
Okay.
however many inches you wanted to get within whatever.
I'd like to try and get within the 3 inches.
Yeah, absolutely. So as long as you had the movement.
Yeah. Went
Yep.
up 4. 14. So.
Yeah, so you can just put him like, almost in base-to-base contact. Yep. And pointed directly, once again, the pipper's directly at his stem. Yep, like that.
Am I within? I'm gonna
Now,
assume I'm probably
yes,
within 3.
you are within 3. And the other thing to check is throw me the, what's up, man? So you check their front arc. Well, yeah, he's not defending his guys very well. They're all defending in the other directions. So that will automatically put him to disadvantaged.
Okay.
And then you get to take and use heavy hitter so you gain an extra die. So it's 4 plus 2, 6, 7 for the heavy hitter.
Okay.
Yeah, not coming to watch you.
Yeah, I am mic'd up. Oh, totally missed. Oh, all that effort. Okay, go ahead and mark that guy. Okay, so then it would be advantage 3s because he's still laden, so he counts as a 3. So advantage 3s, yours. Yep.
So, can I give up advantage?
Absolutely. So the question is, do you want to get behind him, or like we were talking about, maybe you just want to, do you want to shoot him down, or do you want to create a boom chit? So you have enough speed, you could burn advantage, come out here, and pivot back down. You won't get within heavy hitter range probably, but you can definitely get to a point where you're in his rear arc. Now, this is the other thing to remember. So missiles exactly is 12. So all of a sudden, rather than having to be really, really, really close to him, you just have to be pointed right at his 6 o'clock. So remember, pre-measurement is always allowed. Just lay it out to see where your geometry is, and let me actually do it this way. Yeah, exactly. It's happening. Let an educated. Yeah, I was about to say, let an educated man get here.
Look at this.
So you could burn advantage, like we said. You're going to go somewhere beyond 9, turn, and come back at him, and you'll be within 12.
Boom. What happens then?
Oh, we should name 9. You get to roll the dice.
Okay.
What's the failure rate?
I'm being nice. I gave it a firepower 2. I'm being generous. Yeah. Well, or if it's an AIM-9B, it's like it's not even. It's hardly any of that. It's a whole lot of staring. Yeah, and you just want to make sure you get past his. Yeah. So I'd move another inch that direction just real quick.
Wes didn't give him a mic here, so
Oh, did he mic you up? Oh, great.
up, so it's
Boost them to the same level.
There we go.
we're going live. Now we're going live.
Can't tell the worst.
No, it's now you can say whatever you want to say.
All right.
It's all good.
So yep, that's fine. And I don't know if you want to come. I mean, you might as well just stay within range. Okay, so you will roll your pilot skill of 3
See? Come on, let's do something here. Let's go.
plus 2 firepower for the AIM-9.
Come on, let's go. We'll see some spades there.
Oh, true to form, the AIM-9 just goes off somewhere else. But hey, we tried. All right, so mark your guy as having moved. Mark your guy as having moved. Yeah, that's right. Oh, no, he didn't hit you. He did not hit.
He rolled badly.
So the next advantage 3 before we get to him. Yeah, you're. No, he's neutral. Sorry. So it's your advantage 3. Yeah.
What level is this?
He'll be a 2 because you've got bombs, so you lose a pot skill.
Here, over here.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little dicey.
Now, if I were to maneuver, do I need to move up a little and then turn?
You can turn right there, but just remember your min move is half your speed. So
So a little different than the jets. Are obviously different than
the World War II. Oh yeah,
stuff, right, yeah.
it has a whole different feel, much more slashing attacks rather than just turning fights.
Straight though. Everything was straight.
Maybe get lucky.
Your advantage.
Everything is awesome.
Thank you. The guys. Trevor has done some of these aircraft. Matt's done some other good ones. So
To do that, I'm gonna maneuver.
Let's only turn 3.
and I'm going to make the joke so no one else does. If it was check your 6, we'd still be in turn 1. We just have to pick on the check your 6 guys. Oh.
We talk about that, the shows.
All right. Now, so it's going to be a side arc shot, which is fine. So, are you going to use heavy hitter?
Do we get these back?
Yeah, at the next turn you'll get them back.
Okay.
Quick demo. You
flip, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good. It's good option.
I don't think it's really gonna have a
Yep, you get them back the next turn. Yep. Yeah. Yes. So it should be. Yeah, because use a 3, 5, 6, 6 dice.
Have you hit him?
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Top deep.
Or not. All right, mark that guy.
Playing the dice.
Thank you for sucking up all the hate and discontent. All right. So now, no other advantages except theirs. So your advantage 3s can all go.
Nice targets right there, huh?
Yeah, I know. If they want to get rid of their bombs.
Oh, they have bombs?
Yeah, they have bombs on.
Oh,
So
they got to get.
yeah, they got to get to the target.
Yeah. They're not rolling 6s anyway. Don't worry about it.
Is it taking action to drop your bombs, or what is that?
It's a pilot action just like anything else. So it's just like shooting. It has to be done at the end of the turn. So it has to be done in that pilot action phase.
Neil, you 27?
117? Yeah, the big, yeah. Oh,
Those are 30
Yeah.
inch tanks.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
yeah. I mean, so the question is, do you run for the target? Because here's the thing to realize. Remember, you're going to have to be disadvantaged when you hit the target anyway. So maybe this is where you give up some advantage and you go to neutral and you dive and you get as close to that target as possible.
So who's going to go first of these two?
So he is because he's advantaged.
All right.
So all 3 of these guys that are advantaged will go first. Okay?
Tape measure.
Oh, yeah. Or that. Yeah, or the tape, either one.
Decide to do. Well, maybe I'll work. Maybe all 4 of us. All 4 of us come in. Pick one.
So what is speed in that kind of jets right there?
14.
Same as everybody else.
Then you got 6.
Yeah, so 20. So it seems like a no-brainer. Now, fortunately, the MiGs have already given up some advantage.
Can you turn
But
more
if
than once?
no, you'd have to give up advantage and not dive to do that. You'd have to give advantage to maneuver. So you would. Yeah, it gets to be a pain in there. Yeah. you need me to hold it, I can set them all.
18.
Yep. Another 2 I can throw on the side.
Yeah.
Oop, there you go.
He's gone to 20.
All right.
And what's the range for drop a bomb?
So the range for dropping bomb, no, it would be within 6 in your front arc. So he's just outside of his range to attack. So next turn you'll actually fly beyond the target and attack behind you. It'll simulate like you attacked in the middle of it.
Drop ordnance,
Is this guy?
Nope, it's those guys will move next.
drop ordnance, that's just to start.
So what do you want to do for his? See, once again, he's within 9 inches probably of all the other bad guys. So he can't climb back up, even though he's a Jet 3. He's laden, so he can't climb back up because he's got bombs on. And you really you can't. You're out.
Jettisoning on this guy and turning in.
That might not be a bad idea.
We go with 3 inches. With the buzz saw.
Yeah. All right. So move the other 3s.
I have to go first?
Yep. Because you're advanced 3s.
You take it off. It's those quick does this game.
It does. And, and it's the. Go ahead. Sorry.
Since somebody can reach the gate.
Oh yeah.
Scream 20 ahead.
Yep.
We'll give them more targets so they can shoot it.
Now, what happens if they've been? Do you bring them in
Nope.
someplace like that?
Nope.
Say you're done.
They're done. Yep.
Done. Okay.
Each scenario does it differently, but in this case, if you leave the board, you're done.
And are you considered destroyed when you go off or
No.
like that? Or no,
Nope.
Just done. You're out.
Just you're out of the game.
Okay. That's like I said. That's the best thing about this game. You can play very quickly. You get a game. You can play different scenarios. You can mix it up in there. Figure out what works,
Yep.
what doesn't work very quickly.
Exactly. And it's
You know.
and if you lose, who cares? Whatever. I'll
Yeah.
play it again.
Play it again.
Yeah, exactly. So fast.
Everybody's engaged here and here. And that's what I like about the game too. That no one's sitting around
You
waiting.
guys-
Go ahead and use those. Yes. We got extras laying around here somewhere.
That's what I like about the game.
I love the fact that it's fast play. There's tactical decisions. You can learn pretty quickly. You make the mistakes and just refly it and say, okay, let me try something different.
No, I'm going to drop my bombs.
Yeah. All right. So you're gonna jettison your weapons.
Yeah. So I'm,
This guy's an ace.
all right, so yeah, I don't want to do him. So I can do at least 7.
Yeah. So you got to at least do 7.
Get within 3 inches. You buzz.
All right, so I'm up here.
Yep.
and drop my bombs.
Okay. Hand me those laden markers. Let's just go ahead and put those on the base of the other guys so we remember who's got bombs and who doesn't.
So he dropped his ordnance.
Yep. Pickled his ordnance. Yeah, he did. He launched the tuna-seeking weapon in the middle of the river. So.
But I can't fire this turn.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. So you jettisoned your bombs, and so you can flip buzzsaw. So. Yep. Absolutely. So just taking a look at that. That's kind of a tweener. Go ahead and roll. So a 1, 2, or 3, it's in your front arc. A 4, 5, or 6, it's in your side arc.
Here we go. Come on, Pete.
Okay, it's your side arc. So you get it with a lot to defend with. All right. So you'll have firepower 4 plus your, pilot skill 4 plus your firepower 2, so 6 dice.
Buzzsaw, what's the buzzsaw?
Buzzsaw just makes it a critical hit if you hit. It doesn't add any extra dice.
Oh.
Okay, so we got a critical hit. Anyway, so another boom chit goes down to those guys. And now you get to defend with, 14 plus 3 minus 1, so 16 dice again. So, yeah, right. And you shot in that side arc. Now, so if he fails, if he pulls a Steve Toth and rolls that many dice and gets no successes,
Should we have maneuver a little bit and then come in to get to the front arm?
Get out of my sight.
That's a lot less chances.
yeah, but then he would also have a chance to shoot back at you. And then all of a sudden,
Shoot back if he's inside of it.
right. So, all right.
Shit. Mission accomplished.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so he got successes. All right, so he managed not to get shot down. All right, but we still got the boom chit on him. So put your marker on your pilot skill 4. Okay, so then that takes us down to,
What's
This guy never moved.
well, we just finally gotten to him. So he's now by speed, because remember, he's slower than your guys.
Oh, he's
He's a 2. So now it's time for the pilot skill 2. Your pilot skill 2 is now finally up. No, it's fine. We just,
How many boom chits do they need to chase them
so they're going to need to get 6.
6, okay.
Who's higher than disadvantage 3?
Yes. Yeah, so the advantage 2 will go before all of those guys.
It's going to be a bit of a long shot for me, but I'm going to give it.
So that was our
If you are just hopping into our stream here, we are about 2/3 into our first event at Historicon 2025, Operation Rolling Thunder. We have some F-105s attacking 2 bridges on the right side of your screen, being defended by MiG-17s. Right now, the F-105s are taking care of business with their escort F-100s, and these MiG-17s are having a hard time rolling 6s and are accumulating some boom chits. And we'll see how this game goes. We're going to head on back to Doug with the commentary. Feel free to join us in chat, and we hope you enjoy the conclusion of this game.
Oh, you're neutral 4. Yes, the 3 hasn't. Oh, is that for the? No, because he turned around. He was advantaged. Yeah, he was advantaged, burn advantage. Yeah, that was this turn. Yeah, because that started the food fight there. So the neutral 3 there as the F-100 needs to go, and then the disadvantaged aircraft will go. Yeah. Oh, you're neutral. Neutral. You're the neutral 3. Sorry, you're neutral 3. Yep. Yeah, because you started the whole food fight by knocking the guy down to disadvantage. It starts the food fight.
Pursuit Boy is doing a great job, as usual.
Thank you. We try.
So I can turn around and get onto the neutral 3.
But when you burn advantage to turn around, you'll now be disadvantaged. And when you're disadvantaged, you can't shoot anyone.
Get into his arc,
Correct. You will be disadvantaged because you'll have to give up your.
start of his turn.
But there's nobody in front of him, so. No. But we're not about the 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Has we got to plan ahead.
So this is where slashing attacks end up happening. So a lot of times that aircraft will just move ahead, make a 45-degree turn, and get outside of 9 inches from the MiGs, and then regain a level of advantage. So it may be in his best interest not to stay anchored in this fight, because then at least you have one of your fighters advantaged.
That's important.
Yes.
That's what this game is all about.
Yep.
Round.
And if you can come around to the other side if you need to, if it makes it easier.
9 inches is that burning advantage.
How close can you have to be out of before you can climb?
You have to be outside of a 9-inch bubble. So. Yeah. So my recommendation is.
I can use rapid roll.
Yeah, absolutely. You could still use rapid roll and then pivot away if you wanted to, or into whichever way you want to pivot, and it'll make it easier because there's what 9 inches is like. So you just have to be outside that 9-inch bubble. If you pivot into them, there's no way you're going to get out of that 9-inch bubble.
I'm just worried though.
No.
Let's see.
No, but if you
Oh,
advantage,
but-
if you advantage
and
yourself,
advantage at the
yeah, they're not going to.
Advantage was powerful.
Yep. So just let me just move it to there. So you're going to have to move at least another 2 inches. Yep. Or however many you move as much you want. Yep. Turn 45. Yep. And then you can climb for advantage or regain advantage. Yep. Exactly. So that makes a big difference. All right. The disadvantaged 3 MiG.
This goes to that airplane over there.
Yep. Disadvantaged 3 MiG. Yeah. So all of a sudden you went from being the king of the hill to now the last guy to go. Next to the last guy to go.
All of these things?
There's still a disadvantage 2 that hasn't gone.
Over there.
Yeah, so your choices are fly straight or fly straight. Well, you could use rapid roll. You could always use rapid roll to change something, but
Just move to try and
yeah.
get out of it.
Well, and if you go your full, or actually, yeah, let me see where 9 inches is. So, yeah, you really could actually even, well, you can go there. Which way do you want to turn, left or right?
Is outside of range.
Yeah, so then you can just climb up to neutral.
Yep.
Which way did you want to turn, that way or the other way? Okay.
No, that's perfect. That's where I want.
Okay.
Start
So throw me your orange marker. And then the disadvantaged 2.
No, two more booms.
You're disadvantaged too. Okay. You also have the options of fly straight or fly straight.
I think the thing is with this too is, the big thing is with this, people have to understand is with this.
What's that?
Like if I flew straight ahead and I got away from
Around.
the base, but around this thing,
Yes.
that still counts as like I can't climb.
No. It does not count. It does not hold you down.
Okay.
You can climb in
So
the target area.
that's-
But let me just throw this out to you, and that this is another interesting thing. If you end up over there disadvantaged for some reason, that basically means you're not paying attention to the anti-aircraft artillery that's there.
which is just it.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm gonna go there and then I'm gonna
then there's not a problem. Just so I bring that up because it's similar to the rules in normal Blood Red Skies, but it's a lot more. People tend to forget about it in the jet game because they're like, oh yeah, I'm just disadvantaged just flying over the target, and you're now putting yourself at risk of the anti-aircraft artillery. Yeah, because basically, well, yes, basically you're so busy trying to defend against the MiGs, and now you've blundered into the anti-aircraft. Yeah. Yep. Perfect. All right. End of the turn, so everybody.
Hey, I'm important, man. You want to come in here? You guys doing good? Are we doing
Hey,
good?
just to give you guys a little taste here, we're stepping into the booth with Rusty. Heck of a call sign there, I gotta say. We don't want the whole story of how you got that one, but he is our convention director at Historicon.
No, fallen.
And he's helping out, volunteer at Historicon, right?
Yes.
How's everything been going so far?
Well, as you can see, that the show is filling up slowly but surely. We had, I think for Wednesday night last night, we had an awful lot of people come in. It's been very vibrant. The dealer hall has a lot of activity. The gaming has been, tremendous. Have you got a chance to go up to see any of the gaming halls?
I have not. I'll tell you what. Somebody piqued my interest with a rumor of a Moby Dick game that's going to be going on later. I think I'm going to have to stop up and see that one.
I think Mark, it might be Mark's Gamer running that.
That is, yep.
Okay, and that's a great game, a lot of fun. But there's so much, big game. I call it. Just its creativity and the workmanship. It has been. It's Wednesday. And it's been awesome actually. Thursday.
Yeah, I did feel like it got going quick this year though, didn't it? It got in here at 8:00 this morning, and it was already Thursday morning. It was going already.
It's really been a great start for the show. I think we've been building post COVID, of course. Year after year, it's getting bigger, and everything's just getting. Look around you. There's an awful lot of gaming going on. There's the Triumph guys here. They're doing their thing, and obviously you guys. What you're doing here with the demos, and it's great. I think it's a great option for someone. It's they don't want to sit in a game for 3-4 hours. They can come in. I want to demo a game. Okay, I'm here for what hour demos you guys are doing or something like that.
Yeah, hour and a half usually.
You're engaged. You pick up the game quickly. It's a great game, and just something else that's great for a hobby. And obviously you got some products here, great product that's being sold in the dealer hall throughout. And I think Scott, Landis, our convention, did a great job, putting this all together with his crew.
Yeah,
So
I think it's been great. I can only speak for me, but I would say any concerns that people had about venue being big enough, lodging, parking, I haven't experienced it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the venue here in downtown Lancaster.
Yeah.
Restaurants, shops, great environment right around the
It is,
convention
yeah.
center. Huge fan of Historicon.
Yeah,
And it's been great so
I
far on
think
day one.
with the venue, we really, I think by now we figured it out. We've been here for a while now, and we're figuring it. I think we have it all figured out. I think it's a perfect fit for a StoreCon. The gaming levels are very close here. A lot of us getting a little older now, but we do have some young people here too. But there's plenty of escalators, plenty of elevators. It's very easily accessible for a show this size, and I just think it's like I said, it's a blessing to have it. We're obviously upping our game with a lot. The biggest thing I think we've done is we've gone to tabletop events, which I think was a really big thing.
It's been worked great for us for sure.
Yeah, so it's even for our members and to be able to have everything done before they get here. It's easily navigated. You get here, you got your QR code, you get your ticket, you hit the
Definitely.
ground running. And to me, that's huge. You know, back in the day, I mean, and people that can relate to this, you know, you had to, I mean, wait in line to get your tickets, all that. You know, sometimes you're in line, nobody wants to wait. You know, so now we're here, you're hitting the ground running, and you're done. You know, you're on the go.
Absolutely.
So it's that's I think the biggest improvement, and we're getting better at that too. You know, that was a big concern with us. You know, how is tabletop going to work out for us? You know, and obviously it's you know, our third show now, fall will be, you know, around the corner too. So by then we're gonna have even more you know, of a little kinks and quirks fixed with the tabletop. You know, so
we're gonna hop back to the game here. I wanted to get you on. Can we get you back for a real interview a little later?
You get us back for a real interview.
All right, we're going to get you back.
I
Stay,
appreciate you
stay
guys.
tuned
you know,
on Facebook.
Yep.
Stay tuned on YouTube. We're going to get Rusty back here. Always an entertaining interview. Rusty,
Yeah,
thanks for joining in with us.
guys, man. I
And
appreciate
we'll
you guys.
get you on for a real interview in a couple,
we'll do that. Thanks,
couple
man.
hours or
Thanks,
so.
man.
All right. Thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, thank you.
So advantage, any other advantage aircraft? Nope. Oh, sorry, advantage 2. 2s and 3s. Even though you're laden, your speed is faster than him. So these 2 will go, then he will go. So.
You flying up?
Yes, he will. Better hope you have some Super Sabres that are about to save you.
I'll just take a saber. I don't. Thought I do.
So there's a point where speed is of the essence. Get to the target before you give them any more chances to shoot you.
In the two-seater, did
Yep.
you have the back seat of pilot controls?
So it could be configured with pilot controls. When it was configured normally for us, we had 2 side control sticks that didn't actually fly the airplane, but just ran all the sensors. So it wasn't configured with stick and throttle, just 2 hand controllers to use all the sensors.
Were you trained as a pilot?
So when you go through, when I went through Naval Flight Officer School, you did your first, quick math in public, 12 flights you did as if you were a pilot. So you did 8 familiarization flights and 4 instrument navigation flights as if you were a pilot. Then they're like, congrats, you don't get to solo. No solo for you, now you go fly as an NFO. And they put you in the back.
He's gonna shoot first.
Shoot this guy, will defend.
Yep, because you're right there, so within 6 inches. Go ahead. Yep, yep.
But it's only 4 dice, right?
Hey, it's a boom chit, so.
But you got, this is where you get all these dice.
Yep, throw that on your squadron.
You're going super quick.
14.
Yep, so you'll get 14, 18 dice. Or you can roll it in groups of 6, however you want to do it. So. Like I said, there's this. Steve has managed to roll 34 dice and not defend, so.
Two dice.
Okay, thanks.
Well, yeah, so exactly, it's the same logic.
Got one.
Yeah, all right, hey, as long as you got 1 in there, so you defended, you're good.
1 out of
18
1 out of 8.
dice.
All right, so now do the rest of your turn for the advantage 2.
An advantage. It's fine. We'll do the whole thing.
Yeah, you're like, we're only going to try this again. All right.
It's a roll.
Oh,
I was wondering, can he fly by and turn around and shoot?
yeah, yes, he did.
It says the pilot. Oh,
All right, so another boom chit.
gathers up quickly.
Exactly. So this is the problem of get this MiG off of me, or else the rest of the squadron's going to break off.
With the 5, because I knew that even if I
All right,
did
that's
a
it.
full shot, I
Yeah.
want my wingman to come in and
All right. So yeah, you saved. You're good. All right. So then we go to go ahead and mark him. So is that all our advantage? Everyone else is neutral or worse. Okay, neutral 4 by speed. So but you're both neutral, so you can't shoot him. Yep. You're like, how fast can I get to the target?
Oh, you don't have one. You're a fighter. Okay. You want to gain it.
You said I could burn my advantage to do funky maneuvers.
Yes, to turn up to 180 degrees anywhere in your movement. So
So what I
the thing to think about, though, is if you burn advantage, you will be disadvantaged when you come out of that maneuver. As a disadvantage, you can outmaneuver a guy, but that's about all you can do as a disadvantaged guy. So, I'll be quite honest. If you,
I'm in on the,
yes,
Well-
he's pointing out the. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the thing was, I can't shoot him there, can I?
Well, think about it. So, if you get to a point where you can tail him, where you can fly in, such that your pipper is pointed straight at his,
Yeah.
and he doesn't, and you're outside of any of his wingmen. So, where this becomes tricky is,
I need to be like.
yeah, exactly. Well, no, you just need to be outside of this guy's 6 inches. So you can be somewhere in here. This is, I would make the case you would have to use rapid roll, or you could do it at the very end of the move. I guess you could probably move and then be almost on the line, but
Go straight ahead.
yeah,
Right.
right. But you won't be able to tail him. Yeah, so I'd use rapid roll, pivot over, and then, yep. And then just turn to point, yep. Basically right down the arc, yep. And then just move. You just have to, oh, we probably can.
We've got missiles. So I can be.
Yeah, you just, nope. I was just going to say, sorry, that was where you were, right? Okay, so you just are going to have to be outside of that arc there. So you probably have to move at least to there. Now that gives you options. It gives you, because you're pointed right at him, you can shoot an aim 9. You're outside of 3 inches. So you can shoot a missile because you're.
But I.
Right. So as long as you have to be within 6 to tail him. So yeah, so it's going to tail
If
him.
I go further to like.
Yep.
I'll
Yep.
be within 3 to use heavy hit.
Yep. And that would have moved you 13 out of your 15. Yes, so you can do that.
And I could. Yeah, because I could go up to the 6.
And once again, you're outside of all their
And then I'll
wingman arcs.
spend heavy hitter as well.
Okay, so you can only use 1 trait card per activation, so you won't be able to use heavy hitter this turn. Sorry.
I'll
Yeah.
just shoot the gun.
Yep.
All right, so I shoot at him.
Yep.
This
With
is-
4 plus 2, so 6 dice.
Would have been 6 with the missile.
So that's the funny thing. It would have been 6 with the missile too. Now the difference is, and it doesn't matter so much when they're already disadvantaged. Remember, if he fails to defend with a missile, he's automatically killed. So when the guy's already disadvantaged, not a big deal. But okay, that's a boom shit. Yep. So this is going to be the last turn for the MiGs. And yeah, and now defend with your 6 dice or 5 dice. Sorry.
There's a lot of maneuvering and shooting, not a whole lot of shooting down.
Yeah. So that's.
Ooh, you survived.
He survived. All right. Yeah. So that's where one of people's frustrations is like, well, I want a bunch of planes to get shot down, and then you go, well, let's look at how many engagements there were, how many suspected shoot downs were there where airplanes got hit but didn't. Yeah. So it's one of those funny arguments where people want what they see in the movies or when they see the overall win-loss ratio. They're like, oh yeah, hundreds of airplanes were shot down over Malta. Yeah, but in the number of air missions total, there's thousands of airplanes that flew. Only 100 and some odd got shot down. Okay, so we've resolved that one. Sorry, we got bogged down there. That was our neutral 4, so then it would be a neutral 3s, and I think there's a billion. So they're going to be, so let's go with the neutral 3 F-104.
Dropping ball. Oh, 104.
Oh, sorry, I meant 100, 104. Yeah, we have 104s, I just didn't bring any for the game. Oh, here you go, here's the Starfighter, yeah.
Left the country.
They actually, so 104s did, which is kind of funny, and as well 102s did. I didn't even realize, but 102s went to Vietnam and were used as close air support attack aircraft. Yeah,
They had,
yeah,
They had, their wings were slick.
yeah,
Hard points.
yeah.
So
Out there shooting guns.
we had to reconfigure. They had 2 hard points. They were for fuel only.
Yeah.
So we had to pull wire through the wings, hook up control boxes at the cockpit. It was fun.
You would have got full chip. And that would have made a difference. And that was, they terrible.
Definitely with a missile. Maybe.
Can I use a missile or is it with my?
So that arc, it's pretty close. You would have to, you didn't use rapid roll at the beginning.
I did not.
Okay. I would say that with an aim 9, he's not going to be directly in a tailing solution. Now, you could, at the end of your move, do that and point right at him, and we'll roll the die because you're right on that line. So it's a 3, so it's yours, right? Yeah. So roll a 1, 2, or 3. He's in the tail arc. 4, 5, or 6. He's in the side arc. Okay, 4, 5, 6 was side arc, so you can't take the aim 9 shot. I'm sorry, but it's right on that line between it. So go ahead and mark him.
I keep getting those 6s, you know, when I want to defend myself, but take
Which
a
is
shot,
good.
I close my eyes.
Yeah. All right. Neutrals. Neutral. Let's see here. 4, 4, 4. 3 MiG. Neutral 3 MiG.
Oh no, my clean's in the shop. I can't go up on the next.
Yeah,
mission,
yeah,
guys.
exactly.
How do you decide
So it's-
between ties?
So no, what it does is by speed. So your guys are all considered pilot skill 2. So it'll be the neutral 3 MiG. This guy goes next.
Oh, that's right, because I got them.
Yep, because you still have bombs on.
I'm going straight. Bridge. Bridge shot.
Yep.
I never did maneuver.
I can't shoot him. You can try that maneuver.
Bladen.
So that's why they're going pilot skill 2. One of them did ditch their bombs, but that's the guy that's disadvantaged. So, yeah.
Oh, the 4.
Yeah, the 4. Yeah, he ditched his bombs and took a shot and didn't.
So we're going to get 3 bombs off.
Okay, you got to do it after your move, so just do your move and then.
Is that a card?
Nope, it's just one of your pilots. Pilot action. Yep. Okay.
If I go 7, then
Yep. Then that's perfectly fine. That's half your move. Yep. So on that aircraft, that 105 is going to roll 3 dice plus 1 for your agility. So roll 4 dice. Who's ever 105 that closest one is. And looking for a success. Okay. So he outmaneuvers you. You go to disadvantage.
Scared.
Yep.
This guy. Take a shot.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So put a marker on him. So then it will be the remaining neutral laden 3.
So my 3 is going to fly the bomb target.
Okay, so in this case, you're basically going to fly over it. So don't fly off the board, but fly as far as you want beyond it, leaving the target still in your rear arc within 6 inches.
So we can do a maneuver to go to burn an advantage.
Yeah.
And then fly up the turn.
Well, he could, but there's really not much point to. I mean, unless you want to come back in to the fight. Yeah, you still have to give up the advantage. So at this point, yeah,
There are 2 ways to do it: maneuver and dive.
right. But you don't have to add. You don't have to take all of that speed that you would be given. So you can give up the advantage at any time for the attack. So yeah.
9. Thanks.
And they shoot if we get near them.
Yeah, all right.
And then it just, yeah, as long as, and where's the shooting? Oh, yeah.
I'm going to turn around. He's going to come
Oh,
back.
okay, yeah.
All right, bombs away.
Yeah. All right. So let's go over here and let's do,
So you did the maneuver, go up, bomb it, turn around, come back.
so conveniently what I forgot to tell you, not forgot, but because I'm a jerk, anti-aircraft fire is preemptive. So you assume so, yeah. So I am going to shoot at you first as you're attacking me on the bridge.
This guy?
Yes. Okay, so do take a boom chit.
Don't like that.
Well, and then the good thing is you still get to defend, so you've got 4 dice to defend.
They can do it. We can do it.
Exactly. Okay. Sadly, you get shot down. So go ahead and remove that aircraft from the board and take. Yeah, exactly. So what the MiGs couldn't do, apparently the gunners went to gunnery school. Yeah, exactly.
We could lose the whole fight just by
Well,
trying to bomb.
but here's the thing. So remember, you still have this turn before all of those aircraft come off the board, because now you're down to 3 F-105s. So now you literally have to get across the target. You've realized that this is the make or break
Well, I'm
moment.
gonna do the same.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead and do that with your guy.
I have to do a maneuver.
Hey man, I'm just chilling in the seat, putting my foot on the pedal.
Exactly. Like, looks like it's really crappy down there, boys. Keep shooting. You're doing a great job, Uncle Ho. All right, so let me take my 4 dice of preemptive. Now this is a really, like I said, it's a medium-sized scenario. When we did this for Korea, for some of our larger ones at Adepticon, or like you'll see us when we do it for linebacker on Saturday, we have flak suppression aircraft. So you have aircraft designated to go in beforehand, do damage to the AAA sites, and then they roll fewer dice at you. Yeah, exactly. Or wild weasels. But if you have flak suppression guys, you may start knocking dice off of my AAA ability, and now I'm not rolling 4 dice. But this is early war. Hey, I missed. All right. So now you make your attack. So your bomb firepower is 3, plus your pilot skill is 3. So 6 dice. So it actually takes 4 to totally wipe out the target. So you're not going to totally wipe out the bridge with this. But that's fine. Because once again, did we ever totally wipe out the bridge? But in this case, you totally missed. So his pull off his laden. Yep, pull off his laden. And he missed it. Sorry, he missed it on that one. And he missed the target. All right, the next 3. Oh, yeah. All right. Is that your 3? Is yours the next one? Yeah. Okay. So, oh, sorry, you're disadvantaged. So we'll come back to that guy. So, all right. So then it would be the neutral 2 F10 or F100. It's your F100. Neutral 2. Save the day.
Right there, Robert.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that.
Well, so here's the first thing. Are you outside of 9 inches from that other MiG? Probably not, but check just to see. Or that's 6. All right, I'm close. Let's see. I think he's within. Yeah, you're within 9. So you cannot gain a level of advantage at the start. So, but one thing again, even if you do nothing else, even if you burn all your advantage and fly right back at that MiG, you can still outmaneuver him. So you can still force him to roll the dice. And there's a chance that he'll roll 5 dice and not get any success.
Go down 11. Then I can do my.
You can do a 180 and do, yeah.
Right, yeah, but then the problem is my minimum movement.
Well, then go forward and come back. No, go for.
Well, that guy's already moved, right?
Yeah, and so you don't have to worry about it this turn.
I don't worry about this guy.
Right there, and then I try to force it.
Okay, so then that MiG is going to roll 5 dice. And there may not be anyone who can, take any opportunity out of that shot, but it might. Okay, so he did fail, so go ahead and move him to disadvantaged.
But he's already moved.
Right, but it would at least set him up if anyone else was able to move and get in a shooting position, which they're not, unfortunately. All right. No, you can't. Yeah, you have to be a greater advantage level. All right. So our next advantage or our next neutral guys, there are no more neutrals. It should be done with neutrals. Yep. He's got it. Yep. All right. So disadvantage 4, and then it'll be the MiG next. So
It's my guy.
that's yours. Yep.
My guy's.
What's the relevance of other values on the dice? All we've ever.
Yeah. All you care about is the 6.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. The others are useless unless you're like rolling for starting advantage or some scenario thing in there. Yeah. All you care about is 6s. So you have to be outside of 9. Now, here's the important thing. Outside of
9 at the beginning of the turn.
But hold on, let's think about it. So the rules are slightly different than I should say on the card, so don't get confused here. Remember, you got rid of your bombs. You're a Jet 3. Nobody holds you down. So you can gain advantage automatically. Everybody else out there is of a lower thruster weight ratio than you. Yep.
And he goes.
Yep. No, you just go up to neutral. But the important thing to think about is now those guys, well, yeah, but you can't get to that guy.
I could get it this way.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so I turned 40.
Nope, you have to turn 45 at the end. You can't turn 45 at the beginning. So you can move forward and turn and put him in a gunshot. Barely.
You think so?
Well, let's check. So here's where you'd have to get to. So you think you can just get to the edge of that?
14 inches. Take your,
Yeah, just. That's what we always say. Yeah.
9 there. Plus.
I think you're just barely outside range. Yeah, you're just barely outside of range. But hey, at least you were there to throw.
Okay.
And here's the other thing. So it's the end of the turn, and you're not going to do anything else. What else would you do? Climb for advantage again, or gain advantage. So a 105 without bombs is a dangerous opponent to have running around the board. Yeah. All right. Disadvantage. Yeah, disadvantage. So the disadvantaged 4 MiG.
Yeah. I still obviously can't give myself advantage.
Nope, you've got to fly straight. Go do something to get out of the way.
how can he gain a bit?
No, because you're still within 9. But he can turn 45, so you can still make a turn one way or the other.
Flexion.
So everybody's leaving except the F-100.
Exactly.
No, we're not leaving. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're 3 aircraft out of 4. Yeah.
Oh, you should, that counts.
Yeah, so it counts. Yeah.
No.
That one. Yeah. So, all right. So disadvantage. Who else is our disadvantage guys? Anyone else left?
Yeah, my attack.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the attack run from him. Yep.
We might get one. We might get one bomb.
Reinforce that, because none of the
All right, fighters. You do the fighters.
What's that?
Paint these fighters.
No. Trevor, one of my good buddies, did. You can't start. You can't turn at the start. So you're in kind of a difficult position. But you're disadvantaged, so you can't regain advantage. You can't burn advantage if you don't have any.
Oh.
So you're kind of a tough position.
I have to wait till next turn.
Pretty much, yeah. But you don't have an extra. Yeah, exactly. So this is one of the difficult points. You actually.
But I can drop coordinates and then move out of here. And then
So here's
gain advantage.
here's what we probably could do. So, is if all we gotta do is we just got to get in there.
Oh, I have to be within 9 inches of.
Yeah, 6 inches. 6 inches of any one of the target areas in
Oh.
here. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can get in there and turn 45.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you can get within range of the target.
Just get on
And
top
yep,
of
and
it.
turn. Yep. And now you're within range.
Oh.
So you're able to engage the other side of the bridge. Dude, why? See, you reminded me. I was gonna let you roll without. I was walking over to the other side of the table. Oh, there's a boom shit. So defend real quick.
Was it 6 dice?
You defend with 4 dice.
Oh, because I'm disadvantaged.
No AAA?
No, that was AAA. Just gave them another boom shit. All right, you defended. So now you get your attack. So 6 dice in the attack.
Let's get a bomb hit.
Yeah, please, let's get a hit on it.
2 holes.
All right. At least 1 hit on there. All right. Cool.
Damn it.
I don't think I have any. I don't have any target destruction ones. I should have brought my other ones over here. We'll put a boom chit on the target itself. All right, we got a hit. Okay, and that's then the disadvantaged last move for MiG. Do you care to move the MiG? No. Okay, so at that point, the MiGs are going to come off. The F-105s come off. F-100s are obviously left on, but there's nothing else. Yeah, which you could, except it doesn't do any damage to bridges. But you could strafe the AAA. But yeah, so that basically would be the game. Congratulations, guys.
All that maneuver, one kill is
So that's what I tell people is that we were playing first of all, we're playing a variant, so we're playing jet rules that average Blood Red Skies World War II goes a lot faster and it's a lot more straightforward because it's just dogfights and you don't have AAA and all these bombers and all that in the mix. But the good thing is whatever you want to do World War II wise, there are rules somewhere in Blood Red Skies for it, whether it's B-17s, whether it's torpedo bombers, all that kind of stuff. So You guys obviously have experience playing it, so I think it's fun.
So do you have like jet rules?
We do. So on the Lead Pursuit site, there's a section of the website.
Lead pursuit?
Well, it about to be a double entendre. So, being smartasses, we purposely chose Lead Pursuit for that very reason. But on the website, I haven't uploaded version 1.6, so we made a couple changes earlier in the month. But there's an entire section that's got all the cards, it's got all the rules and everything. Yeah. Yep. We would produce all these things, but Warlord does have the exclusive license for Blood Red Skies. Because I respect Andy Chambers' wishes, I don't want to go out there selling fan-produced cards in violation of that. But we keep talking to him and saying, hey, what can we do to print a bunch of cards, and if people show up for a game, say, thanks for playing Blood Red Skies Beyond MiG Alley. Here's your card deck, and do things like that so people have the cards.